What if I told you that a single piece of paper, formally stamped and filed by Prince Harry's own legal team, has just single-handedly detonated Meghan Markle's entire multi-million-dollar corporate empire? Welcome back to the channel where we don't just read the headlines, we dissect the absolute delusion behind them. Right now, the British press is in an absolute meltdown, and for once, it is not because of a shadowy palace leak or an anonymous courtier whispering to the tabloids. No, this time the absolute disaster is coming from inside the house. Prince Harry's official spokesperson thought they were playing chess against the institution of the British monarchy, but instead, they just accidentally flipped the entire board over, scattered the pieces and set the room on fire. We are talking about a fresh, unprecedented clash between Montecito and Buckingham Palace that has left industry insiders utterly stunned and King Charles completely vindicated. A meticulously crafted, months-long commercial masterplan designed to resurrect the Sussex brand has just come crashing down in spectacular fashion, and it was dismantled by a document Harry's own office willingly handed over to the media. The sheer panic behind the scenes right now is palpable, and by the time we unpack the mathematical certainty of this failure, you will see exactly why this is the point of no return for the Sussexes. So brace yourselves because we are about to pull back the curtain on the most embarrassing public relations self-sabotage of the decade. What Harry's team did on the 6th of July 2026 will go down in the annals of public relations history as the ultimate self-inflicted wound. To truly understand why this latest clash has sent shockwaves through both Montecito and the palace walls, we have to examine the absolute wreckage of their reputation leading up to this moment. This isn't an isolated incident of bad timing. It is the continuation of a pattern of behavior so chaotic, so thoroughly disorganized, that it makes international diplomacy look like a casual Sunday brunch. Just a week prior to this explosive filing, the world watched in sheer amusement as Harry and Meghan leaked a highly detailed, hour-by-hour itinerary of an alleged upcoming UK visit to select media outlets, only to awkwardly walk it back less than 24 hours later when it became glaringly obvious that absolutely nobody from the royal family had agreed to see them. That level of public embarrassment would cause any normal public relations team to hide under a desk for a month, but the Sussex camp decided to double down. They thought they could outmaneuver the palace by releasing an official, carefully crafted legal statement to justify why their grand return to British soil was suddenly collapsing. Instead, they handed the public the exact evidence needed to prove that the palace was entirely correct all along. The statement was intended to paint Prince Harry as a victim of rigid palace bureaucracy and malicious accommodation withdrawals. But when you look closely at the single line drafted by his own official spokesperson, the entire narrative completely disintegrates. The phrase stated that once alternative security arrangements were in place, he was able to formally accept the offer of accommodation for himself over the weekend. That tiny, seemingly insignificant phrase "over the weekend" is where the entire master plan unravels. The palace had issued a strict, non-negotiable deadline of Friday afternoon for Harry to accept the lodging arrangements, a deadline necessary to coordinate security staff, clear royal properties, and manage internal logistics. By admitting that he only accepted over the weekend, Harry's own office publicly confessed that they missed the deadline, hesitated, waffled, and tried to force a last-minute acceptance on an institution that does not operate on Montecito time. It gave King Charles the perfect, unassailable right to simply say, "No, look, we gave you plenty of time, you couldn't come to a decision, and we have moved on." The sheer arrogance required to assume that a reigning monarch's schedule and the security apparatus of a sovereign state would just pause and wait for a Sunday night email from California is mind-boggling. This entire drama completely exposes the reality of who is causing the friction. The monarchy has a life, it has priorities, and it has constitutional duties that do not revolve around the continuous, exhausting cycle of Sussex anxiety and last-minute demands. For years, the narrative from California has been that the palace is cold, unyielding, and actively blocking their efforts to maintain a relationship. Yet here we have a formal document filed by Harry's own team that proves the exact opposite. It proves the palace offered accommodation, set reasonable operational boundaries, and it was Harry's own indecision and chaotic management that blew the opportunity to pieces. But the fallout from this specific statement stretches far beyond a missed weekend deadline or a lost bedroom in a royal residence. This specific blunder has directly sabotaged a highly calculated, multi-million-dollar commercial roadmap that Meghan Markle had spent the last 8 months meticulously constructing behind the scenes. This UK visit was never intended to be a heartwarming family reunion or a quiet moment of reflection with an aging monarch. It was engineered from day one to be a massive, aggressive branding exercise designed to inject much-needed royal prestige back into a lifestyle brand that is currently suffocating under a mountain of public indifference and critical failure. Insiders close to the situation had already leaked to international outlets that Meghan's upcoming commercial ventures, including her highly publicized lifestyle empire, were heavily reliant on cultivating an image of high society exclusivity and an active, visible connection to the royal family. In the brutal world of luxury commerce, you aren't just selling products, you are selling an aura, a narrative, and a distinct vibe that only a centuries-old monarchy can provide. Meghan desperately needed the iconic photograph of herself stepping onto British soil, framed by the prestige of the institution, to validate her brand to skeptical corporate partners and disgruntled consumers. Her commercial ventures have faced immense scrutiny, and the public has grown tired of artisanal jams and mystery tea, blends that offer nothing but a high price tag. The entire strategy was to reignite that elusive royal magic, to bask in the reflected grandeur of the crown, and to use the United Kingdom as a backdrop for a corporate relaunch. By failing to secure the accommodation and failing to manage the logistics, that entire commercial plan has been reduced to ashes. The stakes could not have been higher because their financial backup options are rapidly disappearing, leaving them in a position of extreme vulnerability. The world remembers that on the 6th of March 2026, their massive equity partnership with Netflix officially came to a grinding halt, a termination that was accompanied by the devastating revelation that their marquee project was languishing at a dismal rank of 1,217 in the global streaming charts. When your flagship media deal evaporates and your ratings are subterranean, you cannot afford to mess up your backup plan. Yet, that is exactly what has happened. With lifestyle expenses reportedly running at an eye-watering $4 to $5 million annually, the loss of this UK commercial launch is not just a public relations setback. It is a financial catastrophe. The irony is absolutely delicious. The very document meant to protect Harry's reputation and attack the palace ended up acting as the primary weapon that dismantled Meghan's corporate strategy. It showed that while Meghan was busy mapping out brand partnerships and calculating profit margins based on royal associations, Harry's legal team was actively filing statements that made those associations completely impossible. This level of internal misalignment within the Sussex camp points to a deeper, more profound state of structural chaos that has left their operations entirely dysfunctional. The public is now watching a slow-motion train wreck where one hand does not know what the other is doing, resulting in a public humiliation so absolute that even their staunchest defenders are struggling to find an excuse. The palace didn't have to leak a single thing, they didn't have to brief the press, and they didn't have to play dirty. They simply stood their ground, enforced their standard administrative rules, and watched as the Sussex operation completely tripped over its own feet. This public exposure of their operational incompetence has opened the floodgates to an entirely new wave of intense scrutiny, shifting the focus from petty family squabbles to a much more dangerous territory involving consecutive courtroom disasters, unverified security threats, and a total collapse of legal credibility that is currently threatening to bankrupt their remaining resources, as the true legal scale of their defeats begins to surface. The true legal scale of their defeats begins to surface when you realize that this entire high-stakes strategy was built on a foundation of absolute legal quicksand. Harry and Meghan's team want the public to believe that their sudden absence from British soil is a tragic consequence of unexpected security threats and harsh palace restrictions, but the public court records paint a drastically different and deeply embarrassing picture. This isn't a case of sudden bad luck or a fresh security crisis that emerged out of nowhere. The brutal reality is that Prince Harry has suffered 3 consecutive, crushing legal defeats in the British courts over this exact same security question, turning their entire argument into a farce. Back in May 2025, the Court of Appeal handed down a definitive ruling that completely rejected Harry's plea for state-funded police protection, establishing a firm legal precedent that his status as a non-working royal meant he was no longer entitled to automatic taxpayer-funded security. Instead of accepting the judicial reality, Harry doubled down, launching an individual appeal for a highly specialized, tailor-made security package designed specifically for his family's visits. That individual appeal was firmly and decisively rejected by the courts, marking yet another major blow to his legal credibility. With that major financial pillar completely gone, the true precarity of their lavish California lifestyle has become impossible to hide. Industry analysts and royal commentators have frequently pointed out that the Sussexes' annual overhead costs, covering everything from hyper-advanced private security details and high-end public relations firms to the massive mortgage and maintenance fees for their sprawling Montecito estate, run at an eye-watering $4 to $5 million every single year. When you have zero major corporate contracts bringing in recurring revenue, an annual lifestyle bill of $5 million is a fast track to financial ruin. This UK visit was supposed to be the emergency lever that stabilized the ship. It was designed to generate the precise kind of international prestige, high-profile media frenzy, and corporate sponsorship interest needed to plug the massive financial hole left by Netflix. By mismanaging the logistics, missing the palace's strict lodging deadline, and allowing the trip to be entirely overshadowed by 3 consecutive courtroom losses, they didn't just miss a family gathering, they completely sabotaged their own economic lifeline. The financial math facing the Sussex operation as of July 2026 is simple, brutal, and entirely undeniable. On one hand, you have a staggering £50 million legal bill looming over their heads from the failed Associated Newspapers case, with the very real threat of an indemnity costs order forcing them to pay the entire sum out of pocket. On the other hand, you have a multi-million-dollar lifestyle that requires continuous cash flow, paired with a commercial strategy that has completely collapsed in full view of global investors. The luxury brands and Silicon Valley tech giants that once lined up to sign multi-million-dollar deals with the Duke and Duchess are now looking at a couple that cannot even coordinate a weekend accommodation offer with their own family without causing an international public relations crisis. The level of toxicity and operational chaos surrounding their camp has made them a corporate liability. No high-end brand wants its products associated with a never-ending cycle of courtroom defeats, public temper tantrums against high court judges, and embarrassing administrative blunders. Meghan's dream of building a global lifestyle empire that rivals the world's most elite brands has been utterly derailed because the fundamental asset she was trying to leverage, that unmistakable exclusive connection to the British monarchy, has been completely severed by their own actions. What makes this entire situation so profoundly historical is that the palace didn't have to engineer this downfall. King Charles and his advisors simply chose to step back and enforce standard, logical boundaries. They didn't engage in a public slinging match, they didn't countersue, and they didn't issue emotional statements to the press. When Harry requested accommodation, the palace provided a clear, reasonable framework with a firm Friday deadline, entirely justified by the complex security and logistical arrangements required to host a member of the royal family. When Harry's team waffled, hesitated, and tried to dictate terms over the weekend, the palace simply closed the window. It was a masterclass in institutional dignity, demonstrating to the entire world that the British monarchy operates on duty, protocol, and order, not on the erratic, fast-moving whims of California celebrity culture. The palace's position has been completely vindicated, and ironically, it was the formal statement filed by Harry's own office on the 6th of July that provided the definitive proof. By explicitly stating that he accepted the offer over the weekend, Harry's team did what no palace press secretary could ever do. They publicly admitted that Harry was the one who missed the deadline, breached the protocol, and caused the collapse of the trip. As the dust settles on this chaotic week, the Sussexes are left stranded in a legal and financial wasteland of their own making. Harry's anti-press crusade has completely backfired, leaving him with 0 legal victories, a severely damaged reputation in the judicial system, and a potential £50 million debt that could completely liquidate their remaining assets. Meghan's carefully planned commercial roadmap has been reduced to a cautionary tale of corporate hubris, proving that you cannot build a sustainable luxury brand based on an institution that you have spent years publicly attacking. The reality of their situation is harsher than any spin their public relations team can construct. Every date, every figure, and every courtroom loss is a matter of public record, painting a picture of an operation that is entirely out of its depth, running out of money, and completely disconnected from reality. They thought they could use the legal system to bully the press and use their royal titles to bully the palace, but instead they have managed to alienate the courts, the monarchy, corporate investors, and the global public all at once. The Grand Sussex experiment that began with so much promise in Montecito has officially collided with the unyielding reality of hard facts, legal precedents, and mathematical certainty, leaving the couple to face the most profound, devastating institutional and financial fallout of their lives. So let's cut through the noise and face the absolute, undeniable truth. The Grand Sussex illusion has officially collided with a wall of hard facts, concrete legal precedents, and unyielding mathematical certainty. Harry's spokesperson tried to craft a narrative to blame the palace, but their own filed document ended up acting as the ultimate confession. Now they are left standing in the wreckage of a collapsed commercial strategy, facing a terrifying £50 million legal bill, a ruined relationship with Netflix, and an institution that has firmly and permanently shut the iron gates. But now I want to hear from you. Is this the absolute point of no return for Harry and Meghan's global brand? Did Harry's legal team just commit the most expensive public relations blunder in modern history by filing that contradictory weekend statement? And how on earth do they plan to sustain a $5 million annual lifestyle when their primary corporate deals are evaporating and the courts are demanding a £50 million payout? Drop your thoughts, your theories, and your analysis in the comments down below. Let's get the debate started. If you appreciated this deep dive into the raw, unpolished truth behind the headlines, make sure to hit that like button right now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications so you never miss another breaking investigation into the chaotic world of celebrity strategy and institutional power. Thank you for watching. Keep your eyes on the data, and we will see you in the next